You're live. So now I'm checking to see what the stream is like. I clicked to start and go live here. By accident. And I wondered, I only discovered by accident after the fact that I'm an absolute noob and fool when it comes to live streaming. Although I have done it before, it's been a while and I just forget. So what happens is I recorded my live stream and I attempted to live stream it from the software, but the actual YouTube interface I did not click go live, so I have a actual 2 hour and 1 minute video from 11:40 when this live stream was scheduled until 1:40, let's say, yeah, and that covers an introduction for like 20 minutes or 25-30 minutes before the report was tabled, or the beginning rather, well, when it was tabled, and then the report, the presentation that Commissioner Rouleau made. I gave a lot of commentary and introduction statements about the date of the release being not February 20th, despite it saying that here, which is a statement of fact, but it is the actual date stated in the Order in Council 2022-0392. It doesn't state it right here, but this is an unlawful date. The Order in Council requires that the report of as a document, the order requires that the report of the public inquiry into the 2022 public order emergency be laid before each House of Parliament by February 20th. Although that was an unlawful date, and he doesn't state it right there. However, the lawful date is, according to the legislation, which is, like I say, I recorded that in February 23rd, 2022, the date of the revocation, and in my live stream. I live streamed the fact of the point of this being a... Sorry, I'm receiving a call, and I'm just trying to ignore it for a moment. Yeah, so the delivery of the report, according to the statute, section 63 rather, section 2 of the Emergencies Act, specifies within 360 days of the revocation, which is on or before February 18th. I've read, like last year, February 23rd, 2022, I read the entire Emergencies Act, and I've paid close attention to the inquiry and the 360 days, and knew that. But then I've also more recently read the Inquiries Act, and looking at if there is any provision in here for when a scheduled or required date of report to be delivered is on a weekend, and or when it's to be delivered according to a confusion, that is to say the recipient of the inquiry is unavailable on the date of it. Should it be done before or after? Is it allowed? Well, it doesn't say one way or the other, but the text of the letter of the law, the statute states specifically that it must be delivered within the days that end on the 18th. So February 17th was the Friday, the last weekday, and we have it. We have a report that is over 2,000 pages. We have the first volume. It's divided across 5 volumes. I'm going to just summarize this and then end the stream. Volume 1 is the executive summary, 270 pages, a consolidated list of recommendations. executive summary and a consolidated list of recommendations. It is the overview. Volume 2 is analysis part 1. Volume 3 is analysis part 2 plus recommendations, which is consolidated in the overview, volume 1. And volume 4 is process and dependencies, and volume 5 is policy papers. Now, let's read the sections and now look at this. See, PDF 2 megabytes, 3 megabytes, 3, 4, and 7 megabytes. So 7, if each megabyte is 100 pages, or under like 100.5 pages, so you got like 450 pages, 450 pages. What is that? 600 pages, 900 pages. Yeah, hell, let's click that. Volume 5 of the report. 650 pages. So, you know, it's just a bunch. 650 pages for volume 5. Volume 4 is 400 pages. So between the volume 4 and 5, you got 1,060, 70 pages. And then volume 3, 1,060 goes up to 500. And then with volume 2, what do we have? 400 pages, so we're up to 1,900 pages. And volume 1 is, oh, I don't know which one of these it is. It's volume 2. I've already had that open in the tab. And volume 1 is 273 pages. So we have, let's say 2,170-ish pages. 2,000, rounded up to 2,200 pages of reports. And the public order emergency, if you click on home, the website, there's a webcast right here of the Commissioner's public statement, which I commented on for 27 or 28 minutes in my live stream, which I'm going to upload. And it's, you know, it's everybody and their dog is going to be uploading their own commentary. All the people that are against the protest, all the people that are for it, that do YouTube's videos and such. And you know, it's the report is essentially a it comes from a perspective, I think, as far as what we've heard in the broadcast, that it takes the perspective from the government for the positive reasoning that led it to invoke the emergency, the need for it, and then it knocks out, or it takes a critical perspective on that, but it also, so it prioritizes, or it initializes the environment of report and perspective from a government good, protesters bad perspective, if you meme it in a sentence. But then it goes into nuance, and it finds problems with the government and supporting positives of the other side. It's pretty frustrating, because everybody who looks at it and with as unbiased attempt of perspective as possible, will find that the government did not have essentially not have the. It'll be people will taking an unbiased perspective that are questioning whether or not it was invoked, reasonable to invoke the emergency, without stating, oh yes, it was invoked, so let's presume that there was a need for it, then understand why they thought that, and then critique it. If you just take it from a base level of the question to begin with, then it's a bit more critical. So there's 2,000 200 pages of report. There are 30 days of witness statements that are each of those 30 days approximately 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours. So there's like 3 to whatever, I'm having bad math, 300 to 360, 300 to 400 hours of testimony, tens of thousands of pages of evidence. He says in this video there are he said that there were 20,000 documents submitted or something like that, and of which he rounded it up to 9,000 documents of accepted entered into evidence documents. It's like 8,200 documents or something like that. 8,000 and change, something, I can't remember the hundreds. But all the material is still on the website. It's going to be up there probably for forever, hopefully, and it's going to be the subject of years of analysis. So I'm happy that I am learning from it myself, and that I'm just adding this material to my little YouTube channel, and I hope that I can make more and more valuable contributions to this particular space. My recorded live stream, which failed, but I recorded it locally and which we'll upload, includes references to creed, philosophy, Plato's Book of Laws, which I've read, started reading before the inquiry, and Epictetus, the Tantrum Chemicum Britannicum, which I've been reading for this, Carl Jung's Undiscovered Self, which I've also put on the YouTube channel, and that is to say where it references creed and the individual experience versus the state, but in the in-between, which is the statement written, which is creed, and that is to say individual's unique experience to the extra mundane, that is a religious perspective against the state, which is part of the philosophy of human rights, which is established in the Canadian Bill of Rights, which is what the emergency if you go to the beginning of the Emergencies Act, it says here in the preamble, whereas blah 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 references the Canadian Bill of Rights. If you click on that, it starts off stating that it is the Parliament of Canada affirming that the Canadian nation is founded upon the principles that acknowledge the supremacy of God and the dignity and worth of the human person and the position of the family in a society of free men and free institutions, etc., etc. All of these pieces that I've read and are on this YouTube channel. Pardon me, I actually have not read the Bill of Rights for the YouTube channel. I did read the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. All of that to say that that it's context, the context of my YouTube channel and philosophy and law and right standing, it all contributes to it. This is a highly important aspect, I think, in my personal opinion, and I just wanted to allow for my YouTube channel to have this, if anybody's interested. And that's where I'll end this stream. Thanks.